Okay, go.
Hi, this is Donna for the Custody Project, and we're still on our national drive to lift awareness for mothers and their children who are largely unseen, unsupported, ignored, and forgotten in our nation. Some of the reasons for the drive include that these mothers often struggle with custody, visitation, and move-away issues, the complications of the family court system, absent or inadequate child support, the inability to afford competent and steady counsel, domestic violence, the negligence, abuse, and/or molest of their children despite their very best efforts to support and help their children, legal attempts to remove custody, legal restraints that prevent mothers from improving the quality of life for their children and for their families, those who suffer the kidnapping and the removal of their children, other hardships, and those who successfully meet the legal bars required to relocate with their children. During the drive, film clips have touched upon some of these issues and can be found on our website, www.thecustodyproject.org, under the events section in the itinerary. But today we are honoring our families in a national way because across our country they continue to unnecessarily suffer, and this is a national crisis. Based on the cases which have reached us over a period of 20 years, these mothers appear to recognize themselves as a group of second-class citizens, and their characteristics include: first, they are being discriminated against, and that this discrimination also imperils their children. The pattern of discrimination typically can include the following. 1, they cannot get fair hearings and trials before biased judges, ruling against them despite clean evidence, credible witnesses, clean facts, and good law. Nor can they get fair hearings and trials when such judges refuse to allow evidence, witnesses, and facts to be admitted. They sometimes are incompetently represented when their attorneys pursue a path of cowardice, such as by not submitting critical evidence and facts, by not citing pertinent law, and by not challenging judges who express a pattern and practice of bias against their clients. 3, custody can be transferred without true cause from a good mother faithfully caring for her children and attending to their needs and growth. 4, without true cause, contact can be diminished or obliterated, halted between a mother and her children when this mother is, again, faithfully caring for her children and attending to their needs and growth. 5, when experts and professionals involved in her case do not honestly report, document, and testify, the discrimination is expressed. As 6, it can be when the caliber of legal representation for her is inferior, inadequate, or partial because she lacks the money for any or for better representation. 7, she may also be discriminated against when the ex is dishonest and/or violent and relentlessly pursues a pattern and practice of using legal maneuvers as a weapon of violence against a mother and their children with impunity which can span years. 8, as they defend the best interests of their children, the health, safety, and welfare of their children, these mothers typically tap all assets, savings, income, retirement, etc., until nothing is left, taking time off work to attend critical hearings, sometimes losing their jobs because they cannot risk foregoing custody hearings regarding the safety of their children, and borrowing as much as they can from family and friends and through any other sources they can find until all revenues are exhausted. 9, their children can be remanded to the custody of those who imperil them, those who do not seek their health, safety, or welfare, and who jeopardize their best interests, whether daily or to the point of death. 10, some of the mothers who we have helped have had this perfect storm of factors occur in their cases to produce utter disaster, in which good mothers are robbed of the custody of their children, and their children are torn from their mothers without reason. To reverse these and other negative factors, the following often appears to occur. First, a deep affirmation of the human spirit, an indomitable spirit, arises, in which 1, mothers quietly affirm themselves and their children. 2, these mothers do not abandon their children. 3, they care for them despite now being penniless and or homeless. 4, they voice that they cannot get fair hearings and trials despite the evidence, facts, and law on their side. 5, they remove unqualified or biased judges. 6, they explain that incompetent or cowardly attorneys have not properly handled their cases. 7, they affirm that remedies for them should include reasonable and or increased child support awards. 8, that their legal fees for their custody cases should be awarded or reversed, forgiven, put on sliding scale, set at reasonable payments over time at 0% interest, or their cases taken pro bono when possible. 9, that the hearings be set at times which do not jeopardize their employment. 10, that fair judges sitting on the bench are required. 11, that courageous attorneys are fundamental. 12, they invite attorneys to step forward to help them correct, improve, and reverse the architecture of their damaged cases until they are cured and justice can prevail. Under that subsection, they work out affordable payment plans over time at 0% interest, and they honor those agreements with their attorneys. And B, they search for competent pro bono attorneys to assist in setting precedent. 13, they request redress of their rights, and on a case-by-case basis, they request visitation schedules which truly address the best interests, the health, safety, and welfare of their children. And lastly, some have remarked that the Constitution itself may need to be amended to state that all men and women are equal, so that mothers and their children cannot be defined as property and chattel, and so that the pitfalls listed above can be avoided. Mothers often acknowledge that they want to prevent other mothers from suffering the way they have. To do this, they can acknowledge and support each other. By holding hands, they strengthen and assist each other to heal and to move forward. The Custody Project assists qualified mothers and their children with care, custody, and visitation expenses in recognition of the extreme hardships imposed upon some families as the children are growing. You can help. If you would like to donate on our website, www.thecustodyproject.org, or go to our Donate Online page, choose the PayPal givingfund.org, use our federal tax ID 954521373, and 100% of your donation will reach us and allow us to better serve our mothers and their children. Without your help, the Custody Project cannot serve this desperate population. Although we are not taking calls until the drive concludes, you can visit our website for more information, and remember, we cannot help you unless donations are received. Thank you.